Have you ever wondered what the home of one of America's most iconic presidents might reveal about his life, family, and guiding principles? Today, let's step into Springwood, the legendary estate of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Located in Hyde Park, New York, this sprawling property was more than just a place to rest. Springwood served as a grounding presence throughout Roosevelt's remarkable life, shaping the man who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Join me now for a closer look at the halls where history was made, the gardens that offered peace, and the personal touches that offer glimpses of one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. Along the Hudson River Valley, a region prized for its picturesque rolling hills and majestic water views. As you approach Hyde Park, you'll feel a subtle shift. The air feels fresher, the scenery more expansive, as if preparing you for an encounter with the past. A small sign points the way to the Franklin D. Roosevelt National Historic Site. A gently winding road leads you through trees that have stood for generations, their branches gently arching overhead as if bowing in welcome. At the end of that path, Springwood emerges, a stately mansion in a simple yet imposing style, its facade blending elements of colonial revival with classic Hudson Valley charm. Stepping out of your car, you can't help but notice the crisp green lawns rolling out in front of the house and the quiet presence of the Hudson River glinting in the distance. There's a sense of tranquility here, a powerful contrast to the high-stakes political world that once demanded Roosevelt's every waking hour. Stroll up the steps to the mansion's main entrance, and you'll quickly see why this setting was both a family haven and a wellspring for FDR's sense of duty and optimism. Inside, you find yourself in a foyer that sets the tone for the entire estate, warm, welcoming, and undeniably steeped in history. Wooden floors carry the soft patina of decades of footfalls. Family members, visiting dignitaries, political allies, and perhaps a reporter or two seeking an inside scoop. The walls host framed photographs and paintings that hint at the Roosevelt family legacy, an interesting mixture of personal keepsakes and glimpses of American life at the turn of the century. You might first notice the gentle hush of the house. Though countless visitors have come through here since FDR's time, it still retains that quiet energy of a lived-in home. A staff member may greet you, offering context about the estate's roots. Built originally in the early 19th century, Springwood underwent multiple expansions as the Roosevelt family grew in prominence. Franklin himself was born here in 1882, and he took his first wobbly steps on the same floors you now stand upon. Even as his political star rose, Springwood remained a constant presence in his life, a grounding force that reminded him of simpler days and the responsibilities he carried forward from his ancestors. Moving into the main hall, you'll catch sight of FDR's study. It's a room that invites curiosity. Heavy wooden bookshelves line the walls, brimming with leather-bound volumes on history, political theory, and law. On a sturdy desk placed near a window that overlooks the front lawn, you might see some of his personal effects: a period lamp, a well-worn blotter, perhaps even a stack of documents that once required his signature. You can almost sense his presence here. Imagine him sitting, cigarette holder in hand, drafting letters or going over notes for a fireside chat. The room feels both stately and comfortable, a reflection of the man who loved intellectual discourse but never lost his common touch. Next, you might wander into the library or living room areas, where the warmth of the family's daily life is most evident. Plush armchairs face a grand fireplace, and soft ambient light filters in through large windows. Walls are adorned with portraits of Roosevelt ancestors, portraits that quietly affirmed the family's generational commitment to public service and civic duty. In a corner, you might spot a grand piano, offering a hint of the family gatherings and social events that once animated these rooms. Many visitors find it easy to picture Sarah Delano Roosevelt, Franklin's formidable mother, presiding over tea while her son entertained important guests or close friends, all within earshot of a crackling fire. Upstairs, you'll discover bedrooms that testify to the many chapters of Roosevelt's life. His bedroom is notably modest for a man of his stature, more functional than luxurious. Although it's furnished in period style, complete with a sturdy four-poster bed and vintage decor, the space doesn't feel overly grand. The personal items here remind you of his youth and his ongoing ties to Springwood. Perhaps a well-loved rocking chair by the window, or a small desk that once held correspondence from his distant travels. Even more intriguing might be the room Eleanor Roosevelt used, a glimpse into the separate yet deeply interwoven lives of one of America's most admired political couples. Descending back down, you could step out onto the veranda that overlooks the sweeping grounds. Breathtaking views of the Hudson River Valley unfold before you. Expansive lawns rolling down toward stands of trees, framed by the soft outline of the Catskills in the distance. FDR often referred to the Hudson River as his backyard, and it's easy to see why he cherished this vista. The breeze carries a hint of pine and the murmur of distant birds, a symphony of nature that must have provided respite during the weightiest days of the presidency. Standing here, you understand how this environment shaped his calm resolve and unwavering optimism. Venturing beyond the main house, the estate offers more to explore. There's the rose garden, meticulously maintained with neat beds of blooms. This is also the final resting place of both Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt. A small headstone marks their graves, set amid the peaceful hush of flowers and greenery. Many visitors pause here to reflect on the immense impact FDR and Eleanor had on the nation and the world, and on the simple fact that they both chose to remain where their roots ran deepest. Further along, you may spot outbuildings like the stables or the coach house, vestiges of a time when the Roosevelts relied on horse-drawn carriages and saw to the upkeep of the farm. The family's love for animals and the rural landscape stands out. In fact, FDR held a keen interest in agricultural life, believing it grounded him in the realities of everyday Americans, a perspective he carried with him to the Oval Office, shaping programs under the New Deal that supported farmers and rural communities. Each building here has its own story to tell, offering glimpses into a 20th century life that balanced tradition with progress. Among the estate's modern additions is the Franklin D. Roosevelt Presidential Library and Museum, located on the grounds. Built under FDR's direction, it was the nation's first presidential library and remains a testament to his commitment to transparency and historical stewardship. Within these walls, you can examine memorabilia from his presidency, artifacts from the Great Depression and World War II, as well as personal letters and diaries. The library also includes interactive exhibits that bring the realities of the era to life, giving context to how decisions made at Springwood's study desk reverberated across the globe. Strolling around the well-tended paths that connect house, gardens, and library, you sense how Springwood mirrored FDR's lifelong balancing act, a deep reverence for tradition, combined with a firm willingness to innovate for the greater good. This is where he absorbed the values that would guide his future leadership, from forging the Social Security Act to guiding America through the upheaval of a world war. You can almost see him rolling across the lawns in his wheelchair, focusing on the day's challenges, while drawing strength from the estate he loved. Visitors often remark on the serenity here, the gentle hush that contrasts with the often tumultuous world FDR had to navigate. Despite the grand historical significance, Springwood still feels like a family home. There's a friendly warmth in each room, as if the ghosts of dinner parties past linger in the air, whispering stories of optimism, camaraderie, and faith in the American spirit. The estate stands as a powerful reminder that leaders, no matter how monumental their decisions may be, are also shaped by the landscapes and loved ones that surround them. Some of the estate tours allow glimpses of rarely seen corners, an attic filled with hidden treasures, or the grounds behind the stables where old orchard trees still bear fruit. These details fascinate historians and casual visitors alike, emphasizing that Springwood remains a living tapestry of family stories and national heritage. Whether FDR was hosting foreign dignitaries or enjoying a quiet Sunday, the property itself stood as a testament to his roots and the personal convictions he carried throughout his life. So, what do you think? Does this tour of Springwood match your vision of a home that molded and continually inspired one of America's greatest presidents? Did it surprise you with its blend of modesty and undeniable historical gravitas? Or did it fit exactly what you'd imagine for a leader who championed the everyday American? I'd love to hear your impressions. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed stepping back in time and wandering these halls, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to explore more legendary estates, from presidential homesteads to the homes of cultural icons, consider subscribing so you never miss a new tour. Thank you so much for joining me on this fascinating journey through Franklin D. Roosevelt's Springwood. Until our next adventure, take care, and may you carry a bit of that FDR optimism into your own day.